a hot summer's day, sometime in July, the locomotives were all gathered around the turntable. The heat was beginning to take its toll on them. However, a locomotive that seemed to be affected the most was Taiju. Recently, he couldn't seem to stop complaining. He complained about the water temperature, the condition of the coal, and even how bouncy the tracks were sometimes. The others were quite annoyed by his attitude, but chose to ignore him most of the time, except for one locomotive, being Sarah. To Sarah, Taiju was like an older brother. Her twin Shigeru saw him the same way, but Sarah was a little touchier than Shigeru, and to have her older sibling complaining all the time really set her off. But then, it wasn't like she could do anything about it, really. Or could she? Sarah was pushing around trucks in the yard outside of the big station one day, when Taiju fussed in.
これはバカバカしい。
ああ、今度は何だ？お前の愚痴に構ってる暇はない。今忙しいのがわからないのか？
全部シゲルのせいだ。いつも私の電車の準備が遅くて、私が遅刻するんだ。
彼のせいじゃない。彼は私たちほど早くないんだ。駅と駅の間の遅れを、あなたが取り戻せないの？
バカバカしい。そんなことしたら疲れ果ててしまう。無理には限界があるんだ。この暑さは、私のような機関車には耐えられないこともあるんだよ。
うるさい。暑さでみんな参ってるんだ。文句言うのはやめて、さっさと行け。
And with that, Sarah continued working, and Taiju left crossly with a wheesh. The day after, he was no better. Sarah was pulling a train of express coaches for Shima, when once again, Taiju puffed into the station.
ああ、どうして今日は特急列車を引っ張っていけないんだろう。デゴイチや島は特急の先頭に立つことが多いのに、日立だってたまに引っ張るチャンスがあるのに、なんで俺はダメなんだ？
This time, Sarah was having none of it.
おい、静かにしてくれないか？まったく、お前はいつも文句ばかり言ってる。割り当てられた仕事を受け入れろよ。そんな態度じゃ、特急を引くチャンスなんて永遠に来ないぞ。
俺が十分に注目を集めれば、特急を引っ張れる可能性がぐんと上がるんだ。待ってろよ。
Sarah was cross at first, but then she thought for a second. Then she grinned to herself as a plan began to form in her smoke box. The very next day, Sarah had readied the express coaches an hour early. Mr. Urakami, the controller of the railway, was the only one standing on the platform. Why, Sarah, you're early. What are you doing working at this time? Sarah then let her plan kick into action.
島やデゴイチみたいな他の機関車たちが特急を引かせられる機会があまりにも多いような気がするんだ。
Well, they're kind of built for the job. Why do you say that?
最近、大樹がずっと特急を引っ張りたいって言ってるから、ちょっと気の毒に思えてきたんだ。でも、彼一人じゃ無理だと思うんだよね。じゃあ、大樹と僕で一緒に特急を引っ張るのはどうかな？僕が前、彼が後ろで、何せ、2台の機関車の力が合わさった方が、1台より強いからね。
I do suppose that you're up a little early. Did you organize the trucks in the yard?
ああ、この特急列車を準備する直前に、もうそれらを整理しておいたんだ。
Well then, I guess you do deserve to help out with such an important job. As for Taiju, I'll speak to his crew about it. Chances are they're gonna say yes anyway. Mr. Urakami was right about that. An hour later, Taiju came into the station with a much cheerier locomotive than before.
今日は特急を引くぞ。今日は特急を引くぞ。
He backed down onto the front of the train and sizzled happily as he waited for the guard to blow his whistle. He waited, and waited, and waited, but he didn't hear one peep.
一体どうなってるんだ？もうとっくに出発してるはずなのに。
Sarah rolled up next to him with a rather smug look on her face.
おお、大樹、今日の特急列車の指示を聞き間違えたんじゃない？君は今日、列車の後ろから押す役なんだよ。前から引っ張るんじゃない。それは私の仕事だ。
Taiju couldn't believe his ears. His smoke box turned bright red in frustration, and he growled away from the front of the train and hissed fiercely as he made his way to the back. Sarah only snickered and coupled to the front. The whole journey, people waved and shouted to see Sarah heading the express. Nobody paid any notice to the grumbling locomotive at the back, though. The The two locomotives arrived at the terminal station 5 minutes ahead of schedule, and the passengers were all very pleased with their ride. They thanked Sarah and her crew, and left the platform. Taiju didn't say anything. He just watched as the passengers left. And as new ones boarded the train, he thought to himself,
もう二度と文句を言うべきではないかもしれない。